We do have corrections. Thank you for fulfilling the excitement. Oh, the people can't hear you. Hang on a sec. For some reason, your audio just keep going. I'm got to figure this out. And now, let's turn that off. Turn that back on.
That's nice,
Oh my god.
I say,
All right.
and everyone's excited.
Trying this again. Okay.
Um, Now, as opposed to this, which is something completely different, it's my water bottle, which I have some of the um, Gator tea in. No, it's called Cajun tea, but it's gone as well. Ben, are the people hearing me yet? I don't want to.
Yes, the people
Oh,
the
yikes.
people listening on the stream can hear you. There's been a bit of
Okay.
technical whatever over here, but I believe I have figured it out. And with the
So,
help of Waterloo Black Cherry, we are not sponsored by
uh-oh.
Waterloo. If you want to sponsor the GudeLaurance podcast,
Waterloo.
call us at
Yes.
benzino@yahoo.com at gmail.com. And we won't answer because that's an email address.
So, anyway, the discussion we had last time, you asked me what a dirty soda was, and I said, I think it's like a suicide. And you were like, huh?
What is
Because
that?
you hadn't
Yes.
had the term. Uh, there are many different types. I thought that it was where you go through and you fill um, your cup with many different types of soda. It's not really that. It's a Mormon thing.
At the self service fountain thing.
Uh, Dirty sodas were invented in Utah, where you can't have your drinks of alcohol or your coffees, and so it is a way you get soda and you spice it up. You add half and half flavorings and stuff like that. There is a dirty soda store here in Chicago where they have several different things that you can get there. As someone on a low sugar, low carb diet, I don't know if going to the place that makes soda even more sugary is the place for me to go. But apparently, they do have some diet options, so I might give it a
Smart
shot.
business move in this economy.
In this economy, yes. This economy, in this economy, but here's the thing. That was just a lead in to our corrections that we have gotten from a listener. Ben,
Ah.
it's just like old times. This is what we like. It's what the podcast, what we've been coasting for
Starting.
a while
We
with
have.
no corrections. Can you believe it? Now, I'm not
Starting the show off
sure.
with content.
Is now, Ben, who is the listener that I know, but I'm pretending like I don't know so that the audience can.
Our corrections today come to us from listener and friend Alex King.
Alex. Now, Alex King, has Alex King corrected any episodes up until this point?
I believe he has. I don't know if.
See, I
And
think so
and
too.
Alex, you can correct me on this. I think you've
Yeah.
called me and left me voicemails, but I don't know if you've emailed.
Now, Alex, you don't know this about us. Well, maybe you do, depending on how long you've been listening. But one thing that Ben and I love to do is bait the correctors by asking them to correct us about something about themselves. Here's the thing. Ben, I'm not going to do this, and you're not going to do this. But
Don't tell me what not to do.
someone out there must know who has been doing the most corrections. So I have two thoughts. If Alex exceeds the amount of corrections that Jennifer did, Alex could then be known as fact checker Alex, seizing the fact checker belt. Or,
The title.
because here's the other thing, is I believe that we've had at least one or two other, like Steven has done some corrections in the past,
Yeah.
whatever. We could assign every single person who does a fact check a new fact checker title. That's going to be easier because we know Jennifer's already. So we'll start with Jennifer. Jennifer has a specific title. We're now going to give Alex's moniker. And we're going to give it to Alex at the end of us reading Alex's corrections. We're going to find out what flavor of corrections these are, and we're going to turn that into Alex's title so that anyone who fact checks us gets a specific title that you, Ben, because of your ability to keep notes when I do not, you're going to write down what their title is.
And then probably
And
forget which
keep it.
episode we determined, and
Well,
I would
you're
forget
gonna
where to look.
you're gonna keep it with the GudeLaurance archive as an appendix.
Don't tell me what to do.
I know, I'm sorry.
Alex, we were talking about Fantasy Island
Yes.
recently.
Where I famously talked about the host that you meet when you go to Fantasy Island, Mr. O'Rourke, which right off the bat,
Right.
not correct.
So it wasn't about that. We had corrected ourselves, and by that I mean
Yes.
I looked it up because Fantasy Island was actually kind of a little before my time. I remember
A little
watching
bit before mine. I
some
watched it in
episodes.
syndication.
Yeah, it wasn't really when I was a kid watching TV at that time. It wasn't really my flavor of television I wanted to watch.
Yes.
So
A
that
little
really,
too adult.
it was a little too adult. I probably was like, I enjoyed basically just Hervé Villechaise's appearance.
Yes.
Just as a child seeing something new on TV. But we had wondered if it was the island that was magical or what was going on.
Yes.
Alex says Mr. Rourke was magical, used his
Mhm.
magic to run the island. The island itself was not magical.
Oh, so Mr. Rourke. So the idea of a magical island in Lost was kind of, hey, what if it's not any of the people? What if it's the island itself? But who knows? I mean, in Lost, now that you think, well, no, because it had well, spoilers for Lost, guys. It's been off for a while, but
And of which I
that
have never seen.
that magical river of light or what have you. Okay, well, there we go, though. Mr. Rourke had the magic. And now we know the rest of the story. So,
And that
Ben,
man's
I
name
believe
was Mr. Rourke.
Alex is not going to be a fact checker, Alex. We're going to call him, and feel free to veto me on this. You have
Wait, there's
final
more.
veto.
We're not done.
Oh wait, there is more. Oh, okay. Well, okay then.
Let's
Keep going.
It's less of a fact checking, more of a filling in.
Yes.
Because we were talking about the French Revolutionary calendar and
Yes.
And Ben Franklin's involvement or
And
orbit.
we were wondering, is Ben Franklin, what did he encounter the French Revolutionary calendar?
Right. So I don't know. So Ben Franklin's grandson Bash. I don't know if that's a correct pronunciation. Bache. Could be Bash. Could be Baki. Bache. I'm gonna say Bash because that sounds more like what a name would be from colonial times. Published. So Bash published the French Revolutionary calendar in an almanac while living in Philadelphia. Bash spent time in
Wow.
France with his grandfather and followed in the family printing business when they returned to Philly. Alex says, I couldn't find anything about Ben Franklin and the calendar, but his grandson was definitely interested.
Nice.
And then,
So it was in the family, if nothing
yeah,
else.
yeah, it came in the family. Despite being wildly impractical, the French Revolutionary Time Project symbolized the ends of the Ancien Régime and the beginning of the contemporary era. The calendar, which had limited use in France from 1793 to 1805, had even less practical value in the United States. The fact that it was printed at all and that it was successful enough to merit subsequent years of printing is a testament to its powerful symbolism in a country where feelings ran high in both liberal and conservative camps. Thank you,
Nice.
Alex. And that is the end of Alex's email.
I'm gonna say, okay, so in both of his corrections, Alex expanded upon and enlightened us with more context. I'm gonna say he's Alex the contextualizer king.
Today on the show, Paul and Ben talk about corrections from Alex Contextualizer
The
King.
contextualizer.
The
The
Contextualizer.
contextualizer.
The
Sort of like Ricky
definitely
the Dragon Steamboat.
articled Contextualizer King.
Now, I didn't really think about this, but
He is the king.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I the dragon is in quotes because otherwise he could be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Uh, and I think wouldn't that be nice if Miyazaki had a dragon steamboat named Ricky in one of his things just as a an homage. Ah, something for the people. Ben,
More corrections fodder.
more corrections fodder, absolutely. Spirited Away. Have you seen it?
It's been, yeah, I have the DVD. It's been a number of years since
It's
I've watched
been
it.
so in that movie, Spirited Away, there is a guy who works at the bathhouse who has a whole bunch of um, levers and stuff that
Yeah.
he uses. Do you remember that guy?
Vague, vague flashes of imagery in my mind.
He wears very dark spectacles, for
Yes.
example, and he
Yeah.
has four arms or multiple arms. Well, everybody has. Well, not every. Ugh. Uh, some other people have multiple arms. Uh, there. Oh, quick digression, and then I'll get back to it. I once knew a guy whose name is
From Nantucket.
escaping me. He did a comic strip called Yellow Jack at the University of Missouri Columbia. Again, I wish I could remember his name, but he once said uh, the JFK assassination was actually a suicide. JFK had a third arm that he shot himself with. Uh, his brain is missing uh, from the autopsy, and so is his third arm. That's the thing I remember. So anyway, this guy, though, probably four arms, I want to say. Can't remember his name, but he ran the sort of engine at the steam
Yeah, he was
bath.
like a steam pipe operator,
Yes.
something like that.
So there is a movie called Tuvalu. Have you heard of or seen Tuvalu?
I want to say I've heard of it, but I have not seen it.
It is at least the episode that I saw or the thing I saw was in black and white. Um, it I've said it's delicatessen if made by Germans. What I mean by that is it is the same sort of post-apocalypse where there's the world is kind of destroyed or has been a little bit um like it's going towards ruin. Um, but
I have a
the
horrible World War II
sentimentalities,
German generalism to say here, but I'm not going to.
no, no, don't do that, Ben.
Well, it wouldn't be
Ben,
a
uh,
slur.
Ben and I. Oh, no, no. I'm just saying. Ben and I saying World War II was bad. I we try to avoid politics when possible, but I guess we can say uh, pretty much anything. Um, anything that is called a world war, we're we're saying probably should we would not great, not great in general.
Yeah.
Um, and then of course someone will say, well, what would you want that to have gone unchecked? Well, no, that also no. Bad people doing bad things, we don't like it. Oh, now are we saying that people are bad because why? Because society says so? Is there a higher morality? No, we're not getting into that. That's not what this
So
is about.
Tuvalu was delicatessen, but made by
Tuvalu,
Germans, and so the
but made by Germans.
post-apocalypse.
Um, different facets of society writ large in caricature, etc.
Yeah.
Not a lot of words, a lot of a lot of expressionism, a lot of it's just it's I really liked it. I really liked it. I got it through Hoopla, which is a streaming service that's tied to libraries. The Chicago Public Library, by the way, is great. I really am enjoying getting stuff from Hoopla, and there are other things I can do. I can stream 5 movies a month, is the way that it's set up, and I've been able to see Hard to Be a God through that, which was pretty cool. But Tuvalu is a movie, and I'm not giving any spoilers when I say part of it takes place in a bathhouse, similar to the bathhouse in Spirited Away. And there
Yes.
is an old man with black glasses that moves the arms of a steam thing, uh, much like the guy in Spirited Away.
So you're saying this might be an inspiration for Miyazaki and that
I
character?
think so. Yes, it came out first. Tuvalu came out first. I think it is possible that he saw it and it stuck in his head, and that was part of his. I don't think he intentionally copied it, but I
It
think
it might also be possible that that is like an icon known to generations and
yeah,
cultures
yes,
that
yes,
we don't know about.
yes. This is the other thing, Ben. Oh my gosh, Ben, you've scooped me. You've said the other thing I was going to say, which is maybe there is a dark glasses moving steam engine guy that both of them are based off of.
Yeah.
It is quite possible because we don't go to bathhouses. Well,
Not after the accident.
not, well, that was no accident. No, but so yeah, it was. So I was just thinking about that. Tuvalu, uh, it's a fun film. Well, it's sort of fun. There's there's some parts of it that
Like
are
80s, 90s,
90s, early
90s.
90s, I want to
Okay.
say, but maybe late 90s. Ooh, boy, now I don't know. 90s though, not 80s.
Yeah.
I do know that
Spirited
because it
Away
was
was
after
late
Delicatessen.
90s.
Yeah, it was like a year or two before Spirit Away. So that's the other thing,
Yeah.
right? Like
Timeline might be
it
too
was
compressed for there to
it
be some.
was before, but
Yeah.
we know that animation takes a long time.
Especially some of the
So
cell animation that Miyazaki was doing.
so the guy who did Tuvalu, he was it was over at Studio Ghibli, and he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna scoop this guy," and so he pulled it in. It's possible. Um,
Well, you know,
uh,
everything in Hollywood comes out in twos.
yes.
Studio
Oh yeah,
Ghibli,
we do.
famously Hollywood.
Yeah. My gosh. let leave some for the rest of us, Hollywood. Um, oh, so the news came out, Ben.
I didn't
Dungeon
realize the
Crawler
news was closeted.
Carl had its first. The news is gay. Everybody knows it. Uh, so the Dungeon Crawler Carl's first cast member has been announced. It
Oh,
is the audiobook narrator is going to be doing the voice of the cat.
I saw that news come across my desk, and the only reason I knew what Dungeon Crawler Carl was because of our conversations.
So here's the thing that's very interesting to me. Um, as you know, I am reading the books. I'm not listening to the books. That's number one.
So you don't know what this cat is going to sound like until you watch.
Well, I do now because I saw a clip from San Diego Comic Con where the guy is doing the voice of the cat. So here is my thing. I know that the audiobooks are beloved by a lot of people. I have not listened to them, and I shall not listen to them for this specific reason. If all I have to go off of is the audio that was at the San Diego Comic Con, I have a feeling. And my feeling is that people who have listened to the entire 8 book series and have heard this narrator narrating the audio have a different reaction to his voice than I do as someone who heard it for the first time on YouTube. Apropos of nothing. Just hearing it like this is what the voice is going to be. Which was, hey, this sounds like an audiobook narrator doing the voice of one of the characters in the audiobook. Is that bad? I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that contextually, it sounds like a person who is reading a character for a property, and that's fine.
I'm
And I'm
assuming that whoever's directing this is probably going to try to minimize the audiobook narrator qualities
yes.
from this character.
Oh, and I'm not talking, obviously, it's a different discipline, right? But in the same way, there are hundreds of thousands. I don't know. It's a very popular audiobook series. So many people who would be like, I can't imagine anyone's voice other than this guy's voice for this cat.
Hmm.
So, the producer said, easiest casting decision we've ever made, et cetera, et cetera. So I am, I am thinking in my brain about this.
It's
If
usually where
I
people think.
were to um, be a person who hasn't heard the audiobook and was trying to think of what to do, I've come up with one thing that would be kind of a failsafe for any reader who hasn't heard this before, right? Or sorry, any viewer who hasn't heard the audiobook. So this guy's spoiler alert, this guy's cat starts talking. Um, and when the cat talks, and again, it sounds like, as good as it may be, uh, a, a an adult human
Pretending to be
with
a
a
cat.
sort of lower register voice who is now bringing their register up and putting an affectation on their voice to sound like this cat. And I know what I'm saying here sounds
Sounds like
crazy.
you're saying like it sounds like they're acting.
Well, no, not even that. this is why what I'm saying sounds crazy. How does a cat talk, Ben? We
We don't
don't know,
know.
right? Maybe that's exactly what a cat sounds like when a cat talks, right? And and
To me, a cat
uh,
sounds like the Lorenzo music.
my impression is everybody likes this person, and a lot of people are very excited. And so everything that I'm thinking about and concerned about on my side, which is having not listened to the books, and I'm watching this, and the cat comes, and this is the voice coming out of the cat. Um, there's a fail safe, easy fail safe, and I'm wondering if they're going to do it. So I'm going to say it now on the podcast. It is uh, July 29th, 1828 Central Time. Um, Cat talks. Cat's owner says, "Huh, you sound different than I thought you would." This is my guess. Because if you're a fan of the audiobooks and you've heard this voice for your entire experience with, you've never read the books, you've only heard them, and you've heard the cat's voice through this person, and this person knows the cat inside and out, and they've been doing, this is the cat's inflection, and this is how the cat does. The cat's owner saying, "You don't sound like I thought you would," is funny because how else could this cat possibly sound? This is the voice of the cat.
It's the voice. It's the only voice the cat's ever had.
So that's funny in that way. If you've never heard the audiobook before and you're listening to the cat talk, and you're like, "Huh, this is what the cat sounds like," and he says, "You don't sound like I thought you would," then you're like, "Ah, someone like me. That's not how I thought the cat was going to sound either." Either way, one line, done. This is what the cat sounds like now. And then you're fine.
Maybe they'll lean into it and somewhere along the line have the cat read a story to somebody.
Yes.
Adopting the guy's natural audiobook reading tone.
Now that would be interesting. But I mean, the other thing is, of course, like, he does a bunch of different voices. Um,
Yeah.
uh, so he could have, there are a couple of other, CGI characters that he could have been picked for. So this is just one of them.
So this is going to be a live action thing with
Live action thing. Yes.
CGI or with CGI characters.
Uh-huh. Yep. Or CGI characters, or uh model characters like did you see the Orville?
Yes.
It's the same production company that did the Orville. So it'll
Okay.
be, I'm expecting it to look kind of like that.
Yeah.
And again, we go back to Widow's Bay. Um the the directing and production design and all that of Widow's Bay was that of feature film rather than, you know, sitcom,
Right.
right? It had that tone and all that. I think they're going to do something similar with, like, I don't think it's going to necessarily look like the Orville. It's going to look like its own thing.
Hopefully it won't.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be weird, right? But anyway, so this is, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So this is the first thing. Uh, First round, people who love the audiobook, very happy, very, very happy.
Good.
Unsure what people who haven't seen the book or haven't heard the book are going to think about it. I do think there is a nostalgia factor that might be missing for people who have not listened to all
You
the audio.
can't please everybody. I mean, as we've learned from past experience, no single casting choice is going to be universally appreciated.
Yes. And one of the reasons I'm talking about it here is, of course, I do not want to talk about it with Jennifer any more than I already have, even though I have, in fact, talked to Jennifer about it, because Jennifer has opinions. So I'm
Has Jennifer
kind of
listened
free
or
to.
read the book?
She's reading the book.
She's reading the book.
Yes.
Reading or listening
Um,
reading?
reading. Yeah. So yeah, same. But Jennifer is an audiobook narrator. So
Hmm.
um, she's got opinions about that, which I will not reiterate here because she's not here to correct me if I've said anything incorrectly.
Right.
But anyway, let's talk about the fact that I don't know anything that's happening in the news right now, Ben.
Oh,
It's
geez.
time for Paul gonna guess the news.
Is Paul gonna guess the news?
Is
I,
there anything happening?
I don't think there's anything major happening. Um, in the news cycles that I pay attention to, I'm sure there's lots happening in things. Like the big story that's happening right now is that um, Anthony Fauci pled the fifth in a congressional hearing today.
Huh.
Um,
See,
and
okay, well that's something I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah,
Uh,
because he says I can't remember the exact term, but Rand Paul led the hearing, and Fauci said that his obsession with is all about COVID, right? And Anthony said that the Rand Paul's obsession is something like obnoxiously unhinged or something to that. I'm gonna look it up,
hmm.
but
Rand Paul is, in my opinion, one of like he's a real interesting politician, political guy. And here's why I say that. You ever have a friend who, um, when they're on your side, you're like, yeah, get them and all that. And then when they're not on your side, you're like, eee, no, thank you, that sort
normally
of
I only
thing.
feel those when I'm in terms of sports.
Um, like like a sports person talking or a comedian. Let's say this, a comedian, right?
Oh,
Comedians
like a
talking.
player. So if a player kind of plays kind of dirty, but he's on your team, you're like, well, I'll forgive that. But if he's on
Yeah,
the team playing against your team, you're like, take that guy out of the game.
yeah. So in this case, it's sort of the reverse, right? So when Rand Paul is going after somebody for exceeding their authority on something, right? And it's like it's a company or an individual or whoever who I have a negative opinion on. And I'm like, man, I can't believe he's doing this. That's kind of crazy. Um, I'm thinking about, for instance, going after people who might have been exceeding their authority with regard to immigration enforcement and things like that. When he was going after those folks, I was like, haha, look at that. And then if he's talking about um, how people shouldn't have to wear masks or shouldn't get vaccinated or whatever, I'm like, well, now hold on, like that. That's he's one of those guys, right? Where
Yeah.
there's another one. Who is it? It's not Kennedy, I don't think, but there's a sort of down home folksy. These are all Republicans, by the way. Democrats right now, anyway. The Democrats that they have in the, I've never really seen them on the side of an issue that I don't agree with in general. But there are some Republicans who are like six of one, half a dozen of the other. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, wow, look at this guy. Crazy. Um, there's someone, I don't remember who he is. Is it Kennedy? Does he have the last name Kennedy also?
There
Sort of.
is a Kennedy. Well, there's a couple of Kennedys in U.S. government right now.
Wait, really? No. I'm talking about like on the House or Senate
Yeah,
floor.
yeah. There's a Kennedy.
Every
from Louisiana, I believe,
Yeah, I
who's
think
got
it's him.
a real down
Yeah,
home sort of accent. And
yeah.
like I think I can't remember if it was like the Daily Show or somebody else drudged up some footage of this Kennedy, whose first name escapes me. From what he's kind of pulling like a Larry the Cable Guy kind of thing, where
Yeah.
like
Where he
his
doesn't have that
he
voice.
doesn't have that thick of a drawl.
Yeah. So so him, Rand Paul, maybe some other people, every once in a while, like my brain is geared up to be mad and be like, oh, this guy. Oh, I don't like this guy. And this guy's neighbor doesn't like him either. But then the person that he's going after is someone that I don't like even more. And then I'm like, well, wait a second. Has some good points. It's one of those things that makes it a little.
I couldn't remember this Senator Kennedy's name because all I could think of was John, and I'm like, it can't possibly be John, but it's
Is it John
John. It is
Kennedy?
John
Oh,
Kennedy.
okay. Yeah. So every once in a while, John Kennedy will. Yet again, few and far between. But there are times when he's doing something, and I'm like, okay, the guy he's talking to is a normally he's doing this to people who aren't jerks, but this guy's a jerk, and all of a sudden it's.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are more people like that.
At the end of the show, I don't really know why Fauci was in front of Congress today. All I know is that he didn't say much. People got angry. Rand Paul threw Fauci's lawyer out of the room in
Ah,
contempt. And some news articles are saying that Rand Paul is entering a congressional sticky slope.
a sticky slope. Now that's interesting. Uh,
Or a
that makes
slippery
me feel
slope,
like,
depending on what kind of shoes you're wearing.
yeah, exactly. That makes me feel like someone's been mixing their metaphors a little bit too much. Um, so this would be what I would say. I feel as though, um, when it comes to science and things, trust doctors. Is Rand Paul a medical doctor?
That I don't know.
I believe he might be, which suddenly makes things more complicated because I am trained in my heart of hearts to think that his idea on medicine and vaccinations, etc., that those ideas are incorrect. But if he has more schooling than I do, uh, by my own rules, I have to be like, but he may know more than I do. That sort of thing. It's very, this is very complicated.
He's an ophthalmologist.
Okay, so if it's about, oh my God, Ben, depth perception. I was about to say, now what's the difference between that and an optometrist? And then I remembered, yes, that's the age-old question. Never tell me. Um, so interesting. In the end, Ben, here's what I can say. I don't have COVID, and
I
that
don't
makes
have
me
COVID,
happy.
and I never have had it either.
I don't believe I have either. I've talked to a lot of people who have had it like 3 or 4 times,
Yeah, yeah.
and that to me is crazy.
I don't know. I think okay, so I was careful, right? I washed my
Yeah,
hands a lot. I wore masks when like before vaccinations were a thing. Like I was super careful. I'll admit in the last couple years I've been less careful. I don't wear masks in group public settings anymore.
yep,
Um but like here's the thing. I think we don't know everything about the virus.
hmm,
Maybe it's possible that it affects some people more than others, right?
yeah,
People who've had it 3-4 times versus people who've had it 0 times. I've had it 0 times. My mom has had it 0 times, but my dad had it and they shared a house, right? So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's something in our physiology, in our genetics, that predisposes us to not, get it. Now, knock on wood, I could be wrong, and I might contract it tomorrow, but
I think I might have
you don't
mentioned this.
know.
In fact, if you the listener want to go through our archive, you can find me, I believe you can find me talking about this on the podcast. When COVID was known, but wasn't known to be in the United States, there weren't any cases in the United States, but people had been talking about it. We don't talk about work, but I was at a conference where people from all over the country were there. On the third day of the conference, I was sicker than I'd ever been in my entire life.
Right.
It was
Where was this conference? Was it where in the town you lived in, or was it in
and it
Chicago?
was in the St. Louis area.
Okay.
Um, and this was, I wasn't in Chicago at the time. I was still living in the St. Louis area. Um, and yeah, I was really sick. Um, I had a very hard time breathing, uh, and such. And so maybe I had COVID way, way early. I don't think now, now that we know about long COVID and all that, I don't think that's what it was. I think I
Right.
might have just had a really bad cold,
Regular
which
run of the
you
mill
can
flu.
still get when people from all over the
Yeah.
country come together. But getting it within day three of a conference seems a little, you know, far-fetched to me. But who
I mean,
knows?
I haven't had the exploding diarrhea either, but I'm also not eating the foods they say it's being, it's traveling on.
Paul gonna guess the news. What?
Have you not heard about cyclospora?
Okay. So is it a lettuce thing?
It is a lettuce thing. And
Okay, I've heard of it.
it
I didn't
is
know that it was
more
more
commonly known
widespread.
as what gives you, and I quote, exploding diarrhea.
So I thought it was just a Chicago area thing because I only heard about it from Jennifer talking about how we had to get rid of all of our lettuce. Here's the thing,
Yeah.
I don't eat.
I
You,
guess it
you know what I
it
eat?
also has been found on, I think, raspberries or other kinds of berries.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. I never have any sort of thing other than explosive diarrhea. So we've got that. No.
You merely adopted exploding diarrhea.
Here's the thing that people don't tell you. Uh, the problem isn't the diarrhea. It's that it explodes afterwards.
You only have a limited
Um,
amount of time to flush.
yeah, exactly. That's right.
I gotta go drop a bomb. No, literally.
Peter Graves comes in and he's like, I've heard of Mission Impossible, but this is ridiculous. Um, oh, we were just talking about this
Yeah.
today.
Courtesy
Uh,
flush, please.
Star Trek predates Star Wars, correct?
Correct. Star Trek came out in 1966. Star Wars 1977.
So I feel like we did we ever get on a which one do we like better kick?
We may have. I don't remember the results of that conversation.
Because politics, uh, Star Trek all the way, right? Um, I
Yeah,
like
it's. I mean,
I
it's a utopian society, and Star Wars
post
is.
scarcity and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Um,
Star
Star
Wars is
Wars,
about fighting fascism.
um, aesthetic wise, I really like A New Hope's very first, like how everything's dirty and grungy
Lived
and
in.
stuff. Loved that part of it, the lived in
Yeah.
part of it. That was very nice. Um, I really like, and I know that I'm gonna. Some people just don't like them. I really like. the final three of the Star Wars
Yeah.
trilogy sets. And I think I've talked about this before. I'll say it again. Um, Hot Dog Magazine or Dynamite, one of the two magazines. There's an interview and a storyline, and in that, George Lucas is quoted, maybe not quoted directly, but at least it's said that he envisioned 9 films, and it was prequels, and then it was following it out,
I've heard that
and it was
rumor, yeah.
executed exactly like it was. May not be on the internet anymore, but it was in those magazines. I remember distinctly talking about it with my brother. Um, so even though he didn't do the final three, that this was what they had planned way, 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 way back when.
He said he had set
Um,
the wheels in motion.
and I hate to say it, but I really like The Last Jedi. Uh, Ryan, what's his head? Um, the guy from
No,
the
I know who
guy
you're
who
talking about.
Johnson, Ryan Johnson. Sorry, Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson's entry. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I just watched this docu-series on Disney called Light and Magic, which was basically about ILM's various phases, various evolutions, and the episodes that covered the prequels were interesting because they touched on Ahmed Best's journey
Yeah,
more so than I thought they would in a Disney show about a Disney property. What became a Disney property.
yeah,
But it was interesting listening to interviews with the people who were involved in the creation of Jar Jar Binks specifically, but the prequels as a whole, and how they were like really doubtful about it, and they would go to Lucas with their doubts, and they'd be like, I don't think anybody's gonna like this, and Lucas would be, but I like it, and I'm the only one you have to pay attention to.
yeah. Here's something
And
I will say.
he did
Um,
say, 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, when Phantom Menace came out, he's like, people might not, and the reviews came out, people might not like Jar Jar now, but in 20 years they will. Because he went
how
through it
far are we?
with the Ewoks. I mean, there was anecdotal evidence of people
How much?
coming up
How
to
much?
these guys, like little kids, saying that they
Yeah.
loved Jar Jar was their favorite character. Yeah, so like
How many?
Lucas
How
knew he's making these
many?
movies for kids, not
I
for
did like the
middle-aged dudes.
Ewoks. I really did like the Ewoks. That's for sure. When I was a kid. Um, but here's what I will say. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Not as many anymore, but one of them is Not Another D&D podcast, and those guys are younger than us. They're like a generation younger than us. And they fondly remember the prequels. They like them
Yeah.
a lot. So
And
so that's something
I
interesting.
mean, in his defense, Lucas kind of knew what he was doing in terms
Yep.
of like who his audience was going to be. I don't know if he expected the backlash of his existing fan base as much as what happened.
I thought for a second you were just saying I'm not sure if he was ready for the backlash of his existing. Why is he still around? Get rid of that guy. Um,
Disney
but
did.
yeah, but and
I
to
really need to
Lucas's
get one of those
credit,
microphone arms. This is heavy.
yeah, microphone arms. Hello. Yeah, I can't talking to my fist, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't see it, it's funny. If you can see it, it's hilarious. So yeah, I feel like I, mm, I don't know. I'm leaning to. Here's the thing, right? if I were to have to choose between Disney Plus and Paramount Plus, I think I'd probably go with Paramount Plus to see all the Star Treks.
Yeah.
But likewise, if I now right now, if it's sit down and watch an episode of Star Trek or read a book, I'd read a book. I'm back on it, Ben. I'm back on the book train.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
This is The Eye of the Bedlam Bride, the book that I'm reading right now. As you can see, I'm here.
It's a thick tome.
This book, Ben, is 812 pages. And I'm hoping it'll last me a week, maybe
I've
2 weeks if
I've
I'm slow.
decided that unless something crosses my path that like I gotta read and I'll go out and get it, I've decided that I can no longer buy any more books until I read everything that's on my bookshelf currently.
That's
Um,
smart.
the play compilations that I picked up when I was in college as a theater major are excused if I didn't read like a play that was in one of those. I don't need to complete the
Yep.
book. The dictionary is also excused, as well as my high school yearbooks. But everything else in the fiction and nonfiction sections, I have to at least make an attempt to read before buying another book, just to read another book.
I am doing the same thing. The only caveat that I've given myself is that so I bought all the Dungeon Crawler Carl series so far. The next Dungeon Crawler Carl book that comes out, I'm gonna be able to buy that one.
Yeah,
And then I can also get
grand
books from
thought.
the library. That is the plan. But I've got tons of books on this bookshelf specifically that are like there's tons of role-playing game books, which I do like reading. Um, and then I've got like other novelization stuff. There are other boxes that have books that I really want to read. So I've got a lot of things going on. But I'll tell you this, Ben, there's nothing I like more than reading a fantasy or science fiction book series that I like. Like it beats, all sorts of nonfiction books. Even, I mean, the thing that really gets me is graphic novels. I have a lot of graphic novels.
Yeah.
Um, and I do read them, but I read them too fast and they're too big. So it's hard for me to take them on the train. But I'll take this on the train. I'll carry this
Paul
with
says,
me
holding up the biggest book.
and I will take it on the train. So it's more that I think this book will be durable enough to last on the train, whereas um like well okay, I'll just do this for visual aids, ladies and gentlemen. Um
This whole thing.
this too big.
Yeah.
It's a
That
Moomin
looks like a box. That doesn't look like a book.
it's a box set.
Yeah. The box
Uh
sleeve.
yeah. So I haven't read these at all.
Do you remove the dust jackets when you read?
I don't. Should I? And then this one also I wouldn't take.
Jesus. Yeah, that's
See,
bigger than a dictionary.
yeah. Uh,
Smaller than a bread box.
yes.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
So so yeah. So you and I have the same thing. We have a lot of books and we should read those books.
Yeah, because
And
otherwise, like I'm starting to do that thing where I've run out of room on my shelves that I'm starting to pile books on top of other books horizontally, and I don't like how that looks. And it's all
yeah,
about
I'm doing the same
aesthetics.
thing.
I like it
I
neat,
am doing the exact same thing.
neat and
Oh,
orderly.
you said I like them neat. I was about to say I like them round and juicy. Ben, I have learned something. Uh, Is it 36, 24, 36?
Only if she's 5'3".
Okay. Do you know where those numbers come from?
Do I know what he's referencing?
Yes.
I do know what he's referencing.
What is he referencing?
He's referencing her measurements.
But where did he get those specific numbers from
Now
then?
that I don't know.
I didn't know either until this week. He's referencing a line from Brick House by the Commodores.
I mean, I believe it.
It's 36, 24, 36, something something that she's working with, something like that. But it's there. So, are you familiar with the song Brick House?
Yeah, she's a brick house. She's mighty mighty. Just letting it
Letting
all
it all
hang
hang
out.
out. Yep, yep. So that's the idea, is that those measurements, the Commodores say these are great measurements, and then Sir Mix-a-Lot
Mix is
saying
saying only if she's 5'3".
only if she's 5'3". I love it. It's great. Seattle, you've got a real one in the form of Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah, and if you listen to my posses on Broadway, I eat at that Dick's all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, my yeah was if you remember, I might have mentioned it to you. If I didn't mention it to you, I'll tell you now. So so I whenever I say my dad, I'm gonna always clarify whether I'm talking about Kevin Lovick or George Goody. This is Kevin Lovick.
Bio
And
dad.
and yes, yeah. I'm trying to stay away from that because sometimes people use that term derisively. It is not meant derisively at all. So
I did not
I'm
know that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's something that it's only personal up here,
Gotcha.
right? So it's so he and I met with our respective partners, and Betty, uh, at a pizza place. And the reason that Jennifer and I went to this pizza place, because we said we got to go to this pizza place, then we'll meet these other people out, was because the food that we got that was advertised as coming from this place was so good. We're like, we got to see what it tastes like when it's fresh.
So you got like takeout or DoorDash or something?
No, no, we drove to this place. No, no, no. I'm sorry. I missed that part. We were at a farmer's market and they were selling the food
There
at the
you
farmer's market.
go.
Sorry about that. So, now, I don't, I've been trying to get away from speculation and going with facts only thing. But we have a new speculation because we went to this place. This is sort of like does the barber shave himself, right? Jennifer was like, if this place is here, at a place about an hour away from our house, why is he going all the way to Beverly to sell this food? That doesn't make a lot of sense. I said,
Beverly is
well,
where the farmer's market is.
where the farmers market is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, further away from our house. Why is he going to Beverly? So we go there and we get the food from the place, and we've invited, people along because this is where it's supposedly really going to be good. It's not good. It's okay, but it's not good. And so Jennifer's question, why is this guy here in Beverly? This guy was not at this restaurant. Her thought is this guy retired, moved to Beverly, and is now selling things at Beverly at the farmer's market because he doesn't have his restaurant. He doesn't go to that restaurant anymore.
And this
And
was a
it's
pizza place?
yes,
So
it's
what
it's
kind of
we got
food was he selling at the farmer's market?
we got the calzones that he was selling there.
Okay.
She thinks that he's making the calzones at home and bringing them in, but he still owns the pizza place. He just doesn't show up there
So he's
every
not
day to make
violating
them.
any licensing
So the
laws.
person, yeah, the person that's making the calzones isn't as good as him at making calzones. She thinks he's moved to Beverly makes calzones and brings them, or he's living wherever. Because I will say this 100%, the person that made those calzones that we ate that were amazing, not the same person that made the calzones that we ate at the other place.
Well,
And
I'm
that's
sorry
it.
that your calzone experience with your dad was not what you thought it would be.
But hey, let me tell you, it was great meeting him and talking with him again. I don't see him that often. So that was kind of cool. And I will tell you more at our little conversation that we have when I upload the podcast so that I don't forget to upload the podcast, which you can listen to on our Patreon, which we don't have. And if we ever do have it, there's a problem
It's not
because
us.
something has gone horribly wrong. Or I was going to say either that or one of us needs to do a cash grab, uh,
I'm not there
and
yet.
we'll do something to get the well, it could be me, you never know.
We do
We'll
a
do something to get the podcast
an,
super popular
an annual fundraiser, an annual
because
GudeLaurance fundraiser
Ben and I have worked against our own interest to keep this podcast at a very low attendance rate.
profile.
Ben, how many people do we have now? Are we still under 100? Yes, right?
Oh, for sure. Like per episode?
Yeah, per episode.
I can tell you exact numbers. Log in. Today, 0 people downloaded, but yesterday, 10 people.
Okay, so
We average about 12 a day.
okay, so we're still
So
doing pretty well. Um,
under a 100 for the week.
we want you, the listener, to know that you're in a safe spot where not a lot of people listen, and you are special for listening to us. And of
You
course,
count.
this podcast is the equivalent of the Stephen Hawking uh, time traveler party where he announced it afterwards. We're trying to keep our podcast away from artificial intelligence until such time as spelunkers of the past come in and want to find out what the unfiltered truth about the times that we live in are through the minds of two people who have so much privilege they'll never know what's really happening. Ben Lawrence and Paul Goody. Thank you so much for watching. How's it happening? Keep it wrong. Ben, I'll talk to you next week.
Keep it